Hi everybody, welcome back to Play Well Live. We've got a very exciting little build for you to do today. We're going to be building with cars today. And I know that everybody loves building vehicles and cars with Lego, and you can see there's something similar about all of these cars here. None of these cars can steer, and so that's what we're going to be working on today. Now, while we're waiting for everyone to show up, let me fix this camera a little bit here. There we go. While I'm waiting, I wanted to say congratulations. We had, from the Zhang family yesterday, they posted this image, if you can see it, of our tensegrity sculpture, which was really not an easy build. So congratulations to them, and thank you for sharing that build, which is pretty cool. And I also wanted to see, hold on, I think some other people had posted some builds on our Play Well at Home tag. And this is Corey Webb, I think it might be the same family, had built a few really cool things you can see here. He made a really interesting airplane and a train. Hi Johnny and Alex, how are you? And so I just wanted to share some of the things that Corey had been building, which is pretty amazing. So thank you for sharing your builds with us. We always love to see them. So, cars. What we're going to do today is we are going to learn, hi Caleb, we are going to learn how to make cars that can actually turn. So, Logan and Julia, hi. I miss you guys, miss you. So, these cars right here, these are like normal Lego cars that you might build at home. We've got Lightning McQueen and Mater and the Dursleys car from Harry Potter and all these different cars, and even some cars you maybe have built cars like this, similar to this in our classes. Now, what's similar to this, hi Aloma, how are you? What's similar about all these cars is that you can push them, they can roll back and forth, but they cannot turn. If you want to turn them when you're playing with them, you go like this and you just scoot them side to side. Now, everybody remembers friction, right? Friction is that rubbing, the force that restricts movement. Now, when tires rub or grip on the road, that is a good friction. That's a friction that we want to have. We call that traction. And if we don't have it, we skid. And if you skid, your wheels are sliding, and you don't want that. So when you play with these cars and you turn your cars, you can hear the tires skidding on the ground because they're just going like this, and it's really not very fun. So what we want to do is make some steerable cars. Now, we're going to put these aside, so everybody park over here for now. You park over here. Now, at home you might have wheels that look like this. They can snap on to these little pins here. And they might look a little different, and don't worry about that. Like some might be smaller, like this. Some might be like this, where it's only just one wheel and you might have two of these. And so we're going to learn basically a way to make steerable cars. They're still going to be hand powered, but they can steer and turn a lot easier. And if you understand how it works, you'll be able to build it with whatever wheels you have at home. So let's get started. So first of all, if I go like this and I make a really simple car frame, I just take a 2x plate and I go like this. And I put wheels on it like this. This is basically what's happening with all of our cars we just looked at. It can go forwards and backwards, but if I turn it, it has to skid, which is not good. So what we want to do is we need to adjust this a little bit. Here is the secret. We need to have our wheels be able to pivot or turn. There's a few ways you can do this, but the simplest way are these little turntable things like this, which are 2x2 that can spin like that. Now you might think, oh, that's easy. All I do is go like this and put this under here like this, and I've got a steerable car. Kind of yes and no. If you push this and I try to turn it, it's still, if I go like this, can you see how it's still skidding? Even though with my hands I can turn these like this, I can still turn it and pivot the front wheels. If I play with my hands, it's just not fun. It's not cool. So we've got to do something else. Hi Evan, hi Duval. Thank you so much for dropping in and building with us. All right. So what we need to do is, it's got to be more complicated than this. And the secret is in shopping carts. Yes, I said shopping carts. If anybody knows a special kind of wheel in the front of shopping carts, what they're called, I want to see if anybody knows what they're called. But they seem like they spin around a lot and they can kind of turn, it enables you to turn your shopping cart. I'm wondering if anybody knows what a shopping cart wheel is called on the front. But that's what we're going to build. So what we're going to do is, instead of putting our pivot right on our wheel, we're going to put our pivot in front of our wheel. And so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to let's get a brick, just a 2x4 brick. I knew you guys would get it. I knew Amanda would get it. Castor Wheels is what it is. Castor wheels are what we're going to be building. And what that means is a wheel that is behind the pivot point. Not on the pivot point, but behind it. And I'll show you why that's going to work. So good job. Yeah, Aloma got it too. Good job, everybody. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to take a brick, and I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to put my pivot, my turntable on the front, and I'm going to take my wheel and I'm going to put it on the bottom behind it, like this. You can see how that is. So my pivot is here, and when I stick this onto the bottom of my car, now my wheels are all messed up. So I'm going to lower this one. I'm going to put a brick and a plate to copy the spacing of my front wheels that have a brick and a little turntable, and I'm going to put this on the back. So now I've got a car that looks like this. And you can see now, ooh, now it actually turns, but I can turn it with my hands. Was that Morgan or Amanda? I think it was Amanda that got it. I think it was Amanda. Or actually, I think it might have been Julia. Okay, so when I go like this, I can turn, but with my hands. This is the exact same way that shopping carts work. By you just pushing in a direction, it tells your wheels where to go. They can swing a little bit, and I hope everybody can see this clearly. If I take this whiteboard, can everybody see how if I push forward, it goes forward? Whoa, swings around. And if I push to the right or to the left, it kind of tells the wheels where to go. The wheels follow the pivot in a way. And so that is the trick. Now, really, that's all you need to know, but there's a few things we can do to make this kind of work better. I used a really skinny body here to so that you could see everything going on, but I'm now going to install it onto a 6x plate, so it's a little wider. Now you can see when I start playing with this, it's pretty cool. I can just turn my hand and I can steer and I can swing around, but it's pretty extreme, and you might want to leave it like this because it's actually really fun to drive. I could even back up, but sometimes, whoa, can you see what's happening? My wheel is going all around like this. And in a shopping cart, the Castor wheels are able to do that. They can just turn all around in a circle. But if you're making a car, it might be fun to constrict out a little bit, to hold it in so it's not flipping all the way around in a circle, because it might be a little hard to drive if you go like this and all of a sudden your car looks like that. So what we want to do, it's very simple. We just need to build a stop into this. And the easiest way to do that is just make your front brick longer. And again, you can use plates for this, whatever you want to do. So look what I'm doing. I'm going like this. I have my turntable in the front. My wheels are behind my turntable. That's the most important thing. And then it extends back to a little further back so that I can now build a stop in this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a very simple thing. Oh, looks like, hold on. I got to back my wheels up here. I didn't make it long enough. So now I've got my pivot here and I can turn, but I want to restrict it. So I'm going to take some just skinny bricks, or you can use kind of anything that you have, and I'm going to put them here. So now look what it does. It constricts it. So now I can only turn from here to there. And you can play with where you want to constrict it and how you want to do that. But you can see the bottom of this long thing now hits. Hi Tabitha, hi William. How it works like this. So now when I turn, even if I push, I can't turn past that. I can't turn past that. And so it's kind of a fun challenge to then drive around your city, which is pretty neat. What else do I want to show you? Found something cool. If you don't have these kinds of wheels, if you want to use Lego Technic, I found something very interesting that didn't work, and I want to see if anybody could figure out why this doesn't work with me. All right, so we're going to build another version of this using Lego Technic. And if anybody ever has, if they see one of these videos and they say, I can't build it with the pieces I have at home, I want you to try to be creative and try to figure it out as best you can. But if you ever can't, if you want to take a picture of your pieces and say, this is what I've got, and maybe I can help you, I would love to see if I can help you. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use Lego technique. So what I'm going to start with is this. I'm going to start with some beams like this, okay? And I'm going to do something different. I'm going to put one of these round bricks in and have an axle sticking up. And this is going to be my pivot. Let's say I didn't have one of those turntables. Now, what can this turn in? Well, I'm going to take a plate and I'm going to stick on it one of these hold plates. You might have some of these. And I'm just going to put it on top like this so it's sticking out so I have a hole popping out the top. And now, if I put this in here, this can swing back and forth. Now, I forgot to tell you one thing that will make your cars drive a little better. If you push on this, let me go back to this one real quick because this is very important. If you push on this, this is going to hit the bottom of your frame. So there's one thing I want to show you that you can add that will really, really help. On this, if you just put a flat tile or a few flat tiles on it, then you can see what this will do is when it pivots, it will slide on the bottom of your car and it will make it work much better. So I forgot to show you that. And it works without it, but now I know it's hard to see, but underneath that little tile is sliding, and so even if you push down on your car, it's not gonna, that won't break off, okay? So that's a little trick I wanted to show you. And so now if we go back to our, I lost it? Where's my other piece? What have I done? Please post in the comments where I put my my last piece that I just worked on. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm going crazy. So I've got my little thing here and I've got my sled. So again, that's what reminded me is now if I push hard here, what's going to happen? It's probably going to bend and break. So what I want to do is add one of those flats. So I just added a brick and a plate. I mean, excuse me, a brick and a tile. And now if I stick this on, you can see it will pivot and slide underneath. So this is just kind of a technic version of what we're doing. Now, here is the challenge that I want to see if anybody can figure out why this does not work. And hold on, I want to see if I can add, I'm just going to add some wheels in the back. I'm just adding a plate and a brick and a plate and a brick and two more beams. Okay, so I've got kind of the exact same thing I did with the car I showed you, except using Lego technique. Now I'm going to take an axle and I'm going to slide it through the middle. Remember, it has to be behind the caster wheel. To make a caster wheel, it's got to be behind the pivot point. And I'm going to slide on two wheels. If you have space, you can put bushings. These wheels have built-in spacing, so it's not going to rub. So look, these wheels can spin. But watch this. If I put in, hold on, let me put some back wheels in. I tried this and it did not work. And I want to see if anybody can figure out why. Check this out. I go like this. Okay, I can drive forwards and backwards. And if I try to turn, it is really restricting. I need a bushing on here. I need another bushing. There we go. Let's keep this thing on. And this is something that's really hard to explain, but when I try to turn it and push, it doesn't want to turn very well. And I'm wondering if anybody can think why. And it has to do with the fact that these wheels, watch, here's a clue, and I want to see if you can figure out why this makes a difference. If I turn this wheel, what happens to the other wheel? It turns because why? Because there's an axle sticking through. So they turn always together. Now on the wheels we were playing with before, on our little car that we built, these wheels are different. They snap on, so if one spins, the other one does not spin. So why do you think that, what does that have to do with making it harder to turn if they're locked together? I think we need to draw a picture. So if we are a car, and we are here, and we're looking at the car from the top, like a bird, and we've got some funny little wheels, and we're going like this, and we're getting ready to turn. If I go like this, and I turn here, and I turn here. So then my car is now up here. Now, can anyone tell me, we've got the inside wheels and the outside wheels. Now, if you were a little ant and you were walking on this path, which path is longer, the outside or the inside? I'm not going to wait for your comments because I think that there's a huge delay. Evan, I think that's Evan. The size of the wheels is a great guess, but it's not the size of the wheels. That's not what affects it, I don't think. That's not what I find out, but that's a really good guess. The key is this, these two paths that your wheels take. This inside one here and this outside one. Can you tell me which one is longer? Okay, so Tabitha, the inside one here is shorter. This would be a shorter walk. This would be a longer walk. So you can imagine that what's happening when your car is turning is your inside wheels have to actually go they have to go slower than your outside wheels. Your outside wheels have to move faster to catch up. Does that make sense? So when you're turning, your wheels are actually going different speeds. Whenever you're in your car, no matter how fast you're going, exactly, Tabitha, everyone's getting it now. Yes, Aloma, exactly, the number of rotations of the wheels. So when you're turning, even in a real car, your outside wheels are going to have to turn more or turn faster than the inside wheels. And there's crazy engineering that goes on in cars using differentials and things. We can talk about that later if you're interested. But the problem here, can this one, when the axle locks the two wheels together, can the outside wheel turn faster than the inside wheel? No, it cannot. So it's much harder, it's more rigid. If you're going to turn, it has to skid. The outside wheel has to skid. So what is the solution? Even if you're using Lego Technic, you've got to try to make the turning wheels be able to turn independently. So for these wheels, I'm able to use these little axle pins, snap it in like this, and then stick my wheel on. And I'm seeing some brains are turned on today. I love it. So now these wheels turn at different speeds. So let's see if this works. Now, oh my gosh, super smooth. And now it just works so well. And now, oh my gosh, I have to add a little stop if I don't want to do my crazy turns. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you today. And if you want, you can practice some, I've got BB-8 here in a little car. You could actually practice your parallel parking. So if I go like this and I drive and I have BB-8 driving like this, it's really cool because you can actually try to figure out how to go like this and get in there and parallel park using just your hand, which is a really neat thing to play with. And it's a weird feeling to do, but it's very fun. So hopefully this helps you soup up your cars. I want to thank everybody for showing up and building with us today. Tomorrow is what day? Thursday. Mike Spee is going to do an awesome video tomorrow, so please tune in tomorrow to see Mike, and I'll be back on Friday. One thing I want everybody to think about, these videos, Mike and I are having so much fun doing them, but we want them to be for you kids to build at home and have fun and hopefully learn some things. So we want, hi Otto, hi Amma, I love you guys. So what we want to do is I want to hear from everybody what kinds of things you like to see. Do you like to see simple little things like this that you can build at home? If you want, we could build crazy big motorized things that just to be fun to look at. Tell us what videos you would like to see and if there's any projects or anything you would like to learn at home. And Mike and I will check out the comments and see if we can figure it out together. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is safe and is okay and happy with their family during this time. And we're all with you. We're with you until the end of this madness. And have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Take care. You're welcome, Aloma.